Hey VC, David here for a thread. If it's about if I have any rules during collecting vinyl records. I just saw James' video and I was thinking, well, I'm just gonna put my piece of sand into the thing. So first of all, I think it's important to know since when you're collecting, because of course what you're looking for in the beginning is maybe changing with time. Not that you're getting old and that your taste is changing, but mostly you get what you really want at the beginning, and then you get maybe also, like I did, you are diving into the music world and actually finding out other artists that you didn't even know existed through the VC. For instance, you're watching some videos and you see John or James posting an album and saying it's really cool, and you're like, oh, I never heard this name. So I will take my experience to express if I have any rules in collecting. There are of course few rules, few things that you have to constrict to, or to compensate with. First, I want to put on the side the money part, because in a collection you can really collect with not so much money. You can easily find some records on flea markets. If you spend time enough, you will find some good records in good shape and things that you like. You just need to spend more time, but it is possible to find nice stuff for 1 to 3 euros per vinyl. So I don't think the money is any kind of problem. You can make yourself some rules saying like, I don't want to spend more than this amount per month, depending on your budget and stuff. I guess this is the only rule about money that you can have. I don't have rules in my mind. I'm actually not so much a rule guy, but I would say I don't have a rule that says I will never spend more than this amount for an album. For instance, recently Pink Floyd, it's been repressed, the box from Pulse. I just bought it. I didn't have the original one and I just bought it. It's still unopened, so I just got this last month or something. And it cost like $100 or something like that. So it's not that I'm spending without counting, but it's just few things. Like for me, like this stuff is worth paying that much. It has 4 LP anyway, so if you divide the money by the number of LP, it should be alright. So that's for the money thing. Second is probably space. Space that you have, or space that you're allowed with your partner, for instance, because of course, as you can see, a record collection is taking space and also has a visual effect on where you live. For instance, where we live, we don't have a garage, so this is in the living room. So it has, for me, it's beautiful. It has a beautiful feeling to it. For me, it brings happiness. When I see it, I'm happy, but maybe my wife doesn't see it the same way. So it looks like a piece of furniture. It's a decoration in your environment. So the space is a key to what you want to collect, because if you have a limited space, you have to choose what comes in it, and that's where the rules are. So what am I collecting? To be honest, I'm collecting any kind of music that my ears like to listen to, is to be honest. So I would say I have some jazz stuff, jazz that I knew, jazz that I discovered, jazz that are a little bit that I don't even listen to yet because it's too much free jazz, for instance. So I have jazz, I have I would say a lot of world music, so South American, African, etc., Peruvian, etc., even Japanese, etc. And then I have some few hip hop, and then a lot of 80s and disco, and then I have mostly everything that I've been raised with, plus few albums that I discovered via VC, for instance. I never heard about, for instance, Television, the band, or there are so many I can't even think of them, but there are a lot of artists that you don't know exist, and there's so many music out there that the more you look for music, or the more you interest yourself for music, the more you discover, hey, I didn't know that, this I like and I didn't know before. So collecting is a bit first is acknowledging yourself that you don't know everything, and that you are opening yourself enough to get new information, and to accept to not like something at the moment. For instance, you can collect. I'm not a completist collector. I'm a collector of music, as I said. Like, I have many style of music, and I like to pick one from another one depending on the mood of the day. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm kind of lost in my speech, but I didn't want to make too many notes to do this video. I just wanted to answer with the heart. And so yeah, the space, I don't think the money is a problem. When you started collecting, for instance, when I started collecting, I just wanted to get what I knew, because when you start, you want to get things you know. So it can be, for my part, it's been mostly a nostalgic start. I got a record player for my birthday 3.5 years ago, and then I got few vinyl, few records from my parents. As my mom passed away, I got kind of nostalgic with some of the records, because I was thinking, oh, this record, my mom actually holds it, and she played it, and she was listening to it while I was a kid, etc. Or I have memories with it. So my start into the collecting was in the soft part, in the attachment relating to the past, nostalgia. I guess it's different for everybody, so my angle of record collecting has started like this. So it made me start to want pick up albums I knew and that I remembered from my youth. So this is what I started collecting. And as I'm getting older into collecting music, of course you look more for things you don't know. And that's where I say it depends, maybe since how long you're collecting changes what you're collecting. So I will say, you start collecting things you know, that you feel comfortable, it's your environment, you know, and you can pick up from, the names are telling you things, etc. And then when you go out of this bubble because you saw a video from somebody that told you this is cool, or oh, I got this album, and you discover more and more things, and then you have to decide in which direction you want to go. I have a rule a little bit like you, James. I'm trying to not buy any records that I already own. This can be sounding funny for a few maybe new collectors, but of course you have new records, but most of the records, they are originals, and they have little flaws. They have a little dent or a little mark, then you know that it makes a little crackle, or this background noise or something. So when you see one that looks like better, you are tempted to take, so you have to know how to recognize a condition. That's also very important into collecting. I would say I'm amazed that some original ones that have little hairlines sound still better than a perfectly new pressing minty without anything on it. It depends. So I think what James said is like actually to put your finger on the in the direction of the stylus and to feel where there's any hairline or little scratches. Just to feel. If you feel it with your finger, it will mean that you will hear it. It will make a little when it goes. So yeah, it's a this is a good stuff to know when you collect, to allow yourself to have vinyl records that are not new, that have few little scratches, but not deep enough so that you can enjoy them, of course. What else? Yeah, I think it's like the other question in record collecting, and if you have any rules, is like when to stop. Like it's a never-ending story. If you want to still look, you always can find new stuff, and the time goes by. There are new artists coming, so it can always grow. It can always expand. So the question is like, up to what? For instance, if you are constricted with a space, are you selling or giving away or getting rid of some that maybe you don't listen too much and you want to buy ours to keep the space, or you just want to add to it and try to grab little space by little space and make it a progression with your partner, if it's okay, you know what I mean, like to make it slowly by slowly a little bit bigger. This is what I kind of did, but right now it reaches an amount where I'm thinking, well, I can't even listen to all of them, even if I would say let's listen to 1 or 2 albums per day, different ones. It will still take me a long time. Yeah, so the question is more what to collect, maybe depending on of course your taste, huh? Some people are completists, like they want all the albums from, I don't know, David Bowie, and all the singles and all, they are David Bowie fan and they want everything that David Bowie has put out. Or yeah, me, I'm more eclectic, polyvalent collector, so I have a little bit of everything which I can pick up and match the mood of the day. I would say this is my type of collection. Space is a matter. I'm sure if I had a garage, I would have more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoy. I didn't show any records today except the Pulse box that I'm happy to get, and speak soon. Ciao.